Hey everyone, so Windows Recall is back. Yep, that controversial feature Microsoft introduced last year is being released quietly, but with some major changes. So in this video, we're going to break down what Recall is, the backlash it originally faced, the changes Microsoft made, and whether it's actually any safer or better now. So this isn't a hype video. I'm not trying to sell you on using Recall, and I'm not here to trash it either. Just laying out the facts in plain terms with some light commentary here and there. So let's get into it. What exactly is Windows Recall? At its core, it's a feature designed for Copilot PCs, and these are basically AI-powered Windows devices with built-in neural processing units, optimized for handling on-device machine learning tasks that take screenshots of whatever you're doing on your computer every few seconds. So these screenshots are stored locally and indexed so that you can use natural language to search your PC history. Like, let's say you can type, "Show me the blue PowerPoint slide I was working on last Thursday," and Recall would find it. So it's kind of like having photographic memory for your computer. And it's not just files but everything: web pages, chat windows, emails, spreadsheets, whatever is on the screen. This is powered by on-device AI models, and the screenshots are supposed to never leave your PC. And on paper, it sounds useful, especially for people who deal with a lot of context switching or who forget where they saw something. But then comes the problems. So Recall was first announced in May 2024 during Microsoft's Copilot PC event. Initially, people were curious, maybe even impressed, but it didn't take long before things got messy. Security researchers started poking around in the early builds of Recall. What they found? The screenshots it collected were being stored in plain text. No encryption, no access restriction, just sitting there. And these weren't just thumbnail previews. These were full, high-resolution screenshots, everything visible on screen, captured every few seconds. Usernames, passwords, sensitive emails, bank details, you name it. Recall could potentially scoop it up. Cybersecurity researchers basically called it a keylogger with a screenshot button. The potential for malware, remote attacks, or maybe even a nosy admin pulling up sensitive data was very real. Security experts said it shouldn't ship in that state, and Microsoft, to their credit, did pause the rollout. So to Microsoft's credit, they listened, at least somewhat. Within a few weeks, they announced that Recall would not ship on day one. They promised a redesign focused on better privacy and security. They also committed to making it top 10 instead of having it turned on by default. And that was a big one. The idea that this level of screen tracking would be active without explicit user consent was a huge part of the original criticism. So after months of silence, Microsoft came back in late September 2024 with a more detailed plan. And now in April 2025, a new version of Recall is officially rolling out again, and this time with some major changes under the hood. So let's go over what's changed. And the biggest upgrade is the way Recall now stores and secures your data. Microsoft moved the Recall process into a secure, virtualized environment, what's called the VBS enclave, which stands for virtualization-based security. So think of it like a digital vault isolated from the rest of Windows, including admin-level processes. The screenshots are now encrypted on this, and they can never be decrypted inside that secure enclave. Not even someone with root access can pull the data out directly. On top of that, accessing your Recall timeline now requires biometric authentication, or Windows Hello. That means facial recognition, fingerprint, or a secure PIN. So if someone gets access to your computer but can't pass Windows Hello, they can't see your Recall history. And another change is off by default. So you have to go into your settings and explicitly turn it on. Plus, Microsoft has added new tools to let users delete specific snapshots, wipe entire time ranges, or completely clear all Recall data. You can also exclude specific apps and websites from being captured. Sensitive content like passwords and financial information is now supposed to be filtered out automatically using something called Microsoft Purview's information protection filters. So these changes are significant. Encrypting the data and isolating it in a secure enclave closes a lot of the whole security research originally planned. Previously, malware could theoretically scan your Recall folder and pick up sensitive data. Now, even if malware runs on your system, it won't be able to pick into the enclave. And that's a big step forward. And requiring biometrics also adds a meaningful layer of security. This isn't just about keeping hackers out, it's also about preventing a coworker, roommate, or whoever might have access to an unlocked machine from digging into your screen history. That said, it's still not bulletproof. For one, Rico still takes screenshots of everything, unless you go in and exclude certain apps or websites manually. That means it can still scoop up confidential work documents, private messages, or things you just didn't intend to store. And while Microsoft has improved filtering out sensitive content, automatic filters are never perfect. They might miss out on a few things, they might overfilter and block useful data, like we don't know exactly how it's doing. So it's also worth noting, this whole thing only works on Copilot PCs, and that means hardware with specific security features like TPM 2.0, BitLocker, secure boot, and so on. So if you're on a regular Windows laptop or desktop, no Rico for you, at least for now. So here's the big philosophical question Rico brings up: how much do we actually want our computers to remember? On one hand, there's value in a tool that can help you find things you've forgotten, especially if you do a lot of research, coding, or design work. Being able to search across your entire visual history of a day's work is powerful. But on the other hand, do we really want our machines capturing every digital move we make? The line between helpful and invasive is razor thin, and when you mix in AI models that can analyze and understand your history, it starts to feel less like a tool and more like a watcher. Even with all the security updates, Rico is still storing a visual trail of your activity. And if that makes you uncomfortable, the good news is you don't have to use it. Well, at least for now. Because how many times has Microsoft said a feature is opt-in and only to make it mandatory a few months later? And one thing I've noticed now is reactions to the relaunch have been quieter. Some in the security community have acknowledged that Microsoft addressed many of the original concerns. Others still worry about the precedent Rico sets, that it normalizes surveillance-like features even if they are opt-in. And many users, honestly, just don't care. For most people, this is one of those niche features that will fly under the radar. It's not a game changer, it's not going to replace search or file management overnight. It's just another tool, one with real utility, but also real trade-offs. So, should you use Windows Rico? That's entirely up to you. If you only supported Copilot plus PC and the idea of a searchable visual timeline sounds helpful, then go for it, but go in with your eyes open. Check the settings, understand what it's capturing, and make sure you're okay with that. If you're even slightly uncomfortable with the idea of computer logging your every screen, just leave it off. Nothing wrong with that either. And personally, I think Rico is one of those features that lives on the edge of what's technically possible and what's socially acceptable. It's not evil, but it definitely demands a level of trust, not just in Microsoft, but in your own system's ability to protect sensitive data. As always, time will tell whether it becomes a staple of productivity or something quietly forgotten. So, thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, feel free to drop a comment with your thoughts. Is Rico something you'd actually use, or does it feel too invasive? I would love to hear what you think, and catch you in the next one.